Eugene, it's been a wee while since I spoke to you last, and it's been a wee while since you had a fighter in the cage.
Yep. The UFC fighters have managed to grab themselves a little break, but I've stayed busy with all the amateurs and some of the other professionals on some of the smaller circuits. But the UFC guys have, just got themselves a well-deserved break, to be honest. So a good amount of time. So it's been a while.
Was that an unexpected thing, or are you quite happy that they get to have that little bit of a dip in their training and then they can come back up?
It was a little bit unexpected, but welcomed as well. Especially Israel, who was on the back of some fights that came in close succession. He really his body needed a break, and Dan too. So it was a well-needed break. They may not have wanted the break, but it's done them a world of good. So I'm happy that it happened.
Now, Izzy's going to be first into action again in the beginning of November.
Yep.
How's things? Are you stepping that up now?
Yep. So he's right in the thick of where we normally are, and he's actually benefited from that break. Like he's come to the gym with a kind of renewed vigor and is attacking training really well, and like those guys, it just doesn't get any easier for those guys. Every single fight they get seems to be a step up. So with taking a step up, you have to take a step up in everything you do to meet the challenge. So, but he's doing really well at the moment.
And there's a little bit of back and forth between him and his opponent, and are you ever worried that things might get too personal and cloud the judgment out in the cage, or is that something you don't have to worry about with a professional like Izzy?
No, with Israel, if there's some back and forth happening, usually it's because Israel wants it to happen. So, he's normally the catalyst, but he's pretty clear on, he has a pretty clear understanding of what he's doing in regard to all of that. And it's just playing with the opponent, trying to get the opponent to have certain reactions to certain things he does that can eventually help him in the fight. He's pretty clued on to that. I don't know, I don't keep an eye on that at all, but I'm aware that he likes to get in the opponent's head to give him some sort of an advantage by the time the bell rings. That's just something that he likes to do.
After that, you've got a month later, you've got Kai having his first fight in the UFC. Everything going good there too?
Yep. So Kai's he's a little bit further off. So Kai's at the phase of training that Kai's in. He's just building a big strength and aerobic base. Nothing too strenuous and nothing too specific yet. Kai's like a good guy. He's like good. He has a good work ethic. So he's the guy we're just like trying to hold back now because it's too early to start ramping it up at the moment. So we're just holding him back and keeping him settled down. But by the time the fight comes, he's going to be jumping out of his skin.
Talking to Shane before, he's hoping to get a fight on the same card. Is that a possibility, do you think?
I think a very strong possibility. I'm talking to them about that at the moment, but I'm 90% sure Shane will get on that Adelaide card, which will be perfect for Kai because it's always easier when you're going through camp at the same time together. So if Kai can have a partner, then they can feed off each other because they're aiming for the same date, and that'll take a lot of stress off each other. So that'll be good if that happens.
And later on in the month before Christmas, you've got Dan up again.
And then Dan got his fight confirmed just not too long ago. Again, just like Israel, like those guys are in the pressure cooker because they're in the top 10, top 15 of the world. So every fight counts for a lot, and they're fighting, literally, the top guys in the world. that's going to be an interesting fight for me, because I said to those guys, I said, there's only one day of the year that they can't fight, and that's when I'm going to be at one of my other fighters' weddings, because I'm a groomsman there. And lo and behold, the UFC got Dan a fight on that exact date. So me and Tristram, who usually attend Dan's fights, will be on Island watching that fight. Yeah, it'll be nervous times for us, but we're confident that whoever we send there, Doug and Andre and whoever else we send there, will do the job. Yeah.
And now it's a wee way out. Have you started picking your opponents to bits yet, or is that just a little bit earlier? You wait a wee bit longer before you do that?
No, I get into that straight away, because that's one of the most time-consuming parts of the training that I have to go through. So I've started going through Brunson, Barbosa and Mokhtarian like almost immediately. I do a lot of, me and my team, we do a lot of kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, fight nerdy things, but we collect a lot of data, a lot of statistics, and that takes quite a lot of time. What that means is we essentially have to watch a fight at half speed to pick up all the little things, and then we're plotting down all the bits of data and stuff, and then we put it into different spreadsheets, and it gives us a whole lot of metrics that we can use to, and all that takes time. And on top of that, you just have to also just study the fight, because the data can only tell you so much. Then we have to actually analyze the actual fight away from the data. So it's just an exhausting process that has to start as soon as possible. And we've got heaps of notice for all the fights, so we're going to be able to do like quite a deep analysis on all those fights. It's a lot different when you get short notice, because you just simply can't do those things. So although they're not a necessity, it doesn't matter. If we do get a short notice fight, they do help give you an overall picture, so we like to do it.
One of the things I'm going to ask you, because the gym is so successful now, is it any difference training fighters that are up the top rather than the fighters that are climbing up?
Yeah, it is quite a bit different. I'm just starting to learn a few things like now, and I'm just starting to see a slightly different dynamic happening amongst those top fighters. Nothing's happened, but you can see the potential for things to go wrong and things to change if we don't stay the course, so to speak. Now those top guys are in a different position in their life that they've ever been in at the moment. Now they're making the most money that they've ever made in their career, and they're getting comfortable. Like now, things that were previously unaffordable and they were never able to do before, now they're easily accessible. Now there's other temptations there that can lure them away from their goal, and they're also dealing with unprecedented sort of attention. Like now they're getting pulled for all sorts of things, like Dan's and Israel's got a show on TV, and then they have other sponsorship obligations over here, and then Kai's got different things going on. Dan's opened a gym, Dan's having a baby, Israel just bought a house. And these are great things, these are great benefits, but these can also become your worst enemy if they take you away from what got you those things in the first place. And at the moment, the guys are dealing with them really well, but you can see that if those guys and myself in particular and the team, if we don't deal with these things appropriately, that things can easily take a left turn or a right turn, and we just need to stay the course at this stage. Yeah.
It's never easy, is it?
You're always in these situations, you're always dealing with different problems as they come, and you just address the problem and find a solution as fast as you can and as best you can, And yeah, it's never easy, but that's why we love it, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh, hey, thanks very much for talking to me. I hope we get a chance to talk again closer to the fights.
Cool. Thanks, Tony. Thanks again.